everybody, and welcome to another edition of Sofia Speaks, Ask an Educator special edition with the LEC community. Listen, I am so excited to have this conversation with another one of my colleagues from Morton East and Cicero in the Chicagoland area. But for those of you who are just tuning in for the first time and you're wondering, like, how is Ms. G hooking up with the LEC family and on their airwaves? So I always like to give a little bit of a backstory. So listen, me and the LEC family, we've been in cahoots for several years now, just engaging in co-conspiring work. So I was a former guest on their podcast. Then I wound up being one of their keynote speakers for one of their BOMB conferences in Kansas City. I did some book studies with them, and they eventually granted me an incredible recognition, the Authenticity National Award. So we thought that it would be like, look, the next best thing, right, for us to continue to join forces. The LEC family is known for amplifying the Latinx voice in the K through 12 space and really amplifying the stories of some incredible warriors of justice in the EDU sector. And so here we are, season 2 of Sofia Speaks, but the 5th season, come on now, season 5 in general of Ask an Educator podcast. I always like to create, as a classroom teacher at heart, a thematic framework for each of my guests to fall under. And so this week's guest falls under the alumni umbrella. Last week, we brought on my colleague Joy, our colleague Joy, who was also an alumni at Morton East. And so what I want to do is highlight the power, right, and the possibility and the opportunity for students to return back to their high school old stomping grounds and say, you know what? I once walked these hallways. I want to go ahead and make a difference. And so we're going to talk about the power of representation and also the power of alumni students going back to their own stomping ground, their own communities, and teaching, making a difference, making an impact to our nation's kids. So without further ado, let me bring onto the stage Miss Brenda Lopez. Miss Lopez, come on through. How are you?
Good, Miss G. She's a little tired. We just had our first day of work, so a little tired, in need of a nap.
I know. So just to let the listening audience know, we have to give Miss Lopez a little bit of some time and some grace, and give Miss G some grace too, because I just hopped off a plane doing an opening keynote to an entire school staff. And then in the afternoon, hitting the school leadership with a 2-hour professional development on teacher diversity, multilingual learner programming, and how to establish partnerships with your teachers as principal. No biggie. Look it.
Okay, she's doing big and bad things. All right.
Listen, we just out here in the name of equity, but you already got some love in the chat. We'll go ahead.
Hi, Joy.
Miss Davila, our girl Joy, talking about hello. So excited to hear Brenda's story. Me too.
Yay.
Us too. And then we got
Dahlia. Hello.
Dahlia.
Come on, teen staff.
So we've got some snowballers in the house, some teen staff, and we'll talk to y'all about what that is, because I know some of y'all are tuning in nationally and you're like, what in the world's happening? But you're going to hear right away. I got another friend popping up.
Osby, hello. I just messaged him 10 minutes ago and he shows up.
Listen.
That's love.
I just need to let all the listening audience know that Miss Lopez is like super popular. And so we're going to get all her fans all up in the chat, and we're here for it, right? Because you know what? Just the testaments of your love and your work with the students. And I'm just so excited to have you on. Listen, I know enough about you to do your own introduction, but I always love to leave my guests with an opportunity to tell the people a little bit about yourself, where you come from, your cultural landscape. Tell us who Miss Lopez, Miss Brenda is this afternoon.
Oh, all right. Thank you. All right. So hi, everybody. My name is Brenda Lopez. I am a fifth year, oh my goodness, fifth year teacher at Morton East High School in Cicero, Illinois. I teach social science. So right now I'm teaching civics and economics, but I'm also teaching AP Human Geography. I went to UIC for my undergrad, and then I got my bachelor's in history, second education, got hired at Morton, and then I went to Dominican University. You're also going there for your ESL, right?
Yes, ma'am.
So I got my ESL and my bilingual endorsement, as well as a master's in education from Dominican University as well. So I'm super excited to join you. I love talking all things education, and I'm also a co-sponsor of our club Snowball, which we're going to talk about later, and I'm so excited.
Yes, we sure will. But tell us where you from, girl. Your cultural
My
landscape.
bad. I'm not repping. I'm so sorry. Well, I'm originally from Chicago on the north side, and then I moved to Cicero when I was about 10 years old. So I went and I attended Cicero elementary schools. I went to Drexel, and then I went to Unity. Then I went to Morton East as well. So I am an alum. I graduated from Morton East in 2015, and then right away went to UIC. So yeah, Chicago Cicero, but I'm a Ciceronian at heart, unfortunately.
Love it. And also, you're from Mexico, right?
Yes. So, girl, I just did a 23andMe test, and I found out that most of like my ancestry, like ethnicity wise, like is from central Mexico. So Jalisco, Zacatecas, Guanajuato. My parents are immigrants, so I'm first generation here. Yeah, just doing the thing every day, trying to live authentically as a Mexican American person here.
I love that. I love that. You know, daughter of immigrants, first gen, that really represents a lot of our student population. And again, just even where you're from, your cultural landscape, that says so much, right? And it just adds so much credibility, and it adds so much depth to just the impact that you could make and are making with our students. The love just keeps coming. Okay.
Woo! Oh. G, you're not gonna believe this. So we're also related. Me and the Montalvos, very distantly related.
No, you're not.
Yes, we are.
Okay.
It's very distant, but we found out we're related too. So
okay, so we got Miss Montalvo in the chat, who's one of our teachers, I believe at the freshman center. Yes. And her sister Janet, our really good friend, was my former student and the first guest on the podcast. And so and Janet is my baby, my sweetheart, and so I'm a little jealous. I'm not gonna lie. I'm telling all y'all, listen, the next time you go to Mexico, somebody needs to take me. Okay, we're putting this out on the airwaves because Miss G needs to trace back her ancestral roots, and my family is too distant in Mexico. I have hardly any contacts. My dad did me bogus. He's from Monterrey. And so I need to hop on one of y'all bandwagons, and that's it. Find my ancestors, walk the land. Okay.
We're going to have to rent an Airbnb and do like a travel, like a multi-city thing. The Montalvos, you, Ritz, all of us.
No, I'm serious.
I'm down too.
Do a pilgrimage. Okay, listen. And Miss Montalvo, Vane is saying we have to go. Vane, listen to me. We're on the airwaves and this is being recorded. Okay.
We're manifesting. We're manifesting.
We are manifesting. And this is just an aside, right? But, you know, just the power of learning where we're from and our ancestral roots. And as educators, man, that's such a level that we could bring into our classroom. I digress. Okay. I just wanted to throw it out there. Girl, it keeps coming. Who's this?
Tony. He's the Teen 7 Snowball. What's up, Tony? Come on.
Listen. You know what? I should have put that in the introduction that all Miss Lopez's crew is going to come bum rushing through here and I can't get through a question. Okay.
Oh my goodness.
But here's what's going to
manifest. Oh, Joy is from there too. Joy is going to jump on the bandwagon. Girl.
Please.
We will.
Please do not rob me of an opportunity. And I want to meet everybody's family. And your love just keeps coming.
Oh, thank you, Osby.
So Osby says, just want to say that Miss Lopez is the best teacher I have ever had. Agreed. Show that love because us teachers don't get enough of it. Tony coming back through here, one of her leaders from her club, talking about we've got her back. They've got your 6. We got to keep it moving because this is already.
Yeah, I know.
Man, yeah, woke me up. Okay. So without further ado, right? Like, tell us about your teaching journey to the classroom. Like, why education, right? And who can you credit?
Well, I was reflecting on it on my way home, actually. Like, when did I really first get like the itch to go back into the classroom? Like, not
Yeah.
just as a student, but as a teacher. And I could really honestly tell you it started eighth grade for me, like right
Wow.
at the end of middle school. I just really loved like talking about history. Like I love the content first, and I think that's something unique about like his high school teachers. Like we pick our specific subject and then we kind of go from there. But I always really wanted to be specifically like a history teacher.
Wow.
And then so like that was middle school, and then I started getting into high school, and I just met so many great teachers. Like if I could just highlight one, that would be impossible to do because I
Wow.
had so many great teachers from freshman, sophomore, junior year, and even from elementary school, really. Like I had a lot of Latina teachers specifically from like Spain. Oh girl, I just misspoke that. Spain is not Latin America, but whatever, Hispanic, I guess. Hispanic, let me correct myself.
Well,
Miss
Latinidad
La,
landscape.
like
Yeah,
the whole like Hispanic diaspora. There we
right.
go. Okay. But I
That,
also had teachers from Chile. I had a teacher from Colombia. I had a teacher from Mexico. Like I had a whole different variety of different teachers from pretty much everywhere. And they were all very encouraging, very supportive. But in high school specifically, I could tell you that I had a lot of teachers that really kind of embraced not just their subject, but really like the students around them. So just a couple, like I can name all day, but like Otilia Tynes for English,
for sure.
Lucy Brannigan, she was Blunk when I knew her, but she's Brannigan now. Evelyn Avila, I had Robert Bays, like all these teachers were like incredible to me when I was there, and I was just soaking it all up. So when I went to UIC, like I knew exactly what I was going to do. I was on a specific plan. I wanted to be a history teacher, so I applied, went to UIC. The plan for student teaching, I was student teaching somewhere in CPS. I didn't know that Morton was offering any of those student teaching positions there, but I did meet someone at UIC from HR at a job fair. And we met, we exchanged resumes, and I didn't even know that Morton was hiring at that time. This was spring of 2019. I had no clue that they were hiring because I didn't think that there were any retirements. But apparently, there were two positions that were opening up because of a new civics requirement that high school students had to take. So me
Wow.
and Joy got hired as the two civics teachers. So I was able to secure my job at Morton before graduation. I had a job lined up and everything, and I was so excited. I didn't think I was going to come back to Morton. I definitely did want to teach at a school that looked like Morton, though. Especially Latinx, Hispanic, Spanish speaking community, just because that's where I felt the most comfortable. And I felt that
Sure.
that's where I could actually like provide some real representation there.
I love that. And look at how it was already in the cards for you to come back to your alum and to represent and to really be that mirrors and windows for your students, for your future students. Like, who would have thought, right? Um, it's
I
just such.
sometimes I think and like I sit and I'm like, dude, like it's really full circle. Like it's kind of crazy how the universe works, but it'll place you where you need to be.
And so right away, you get to
Mm-hmm.
work. I mean, there's so many opportunities for us as educators to dive in and to really create spaces, safe spaces for our students. And one of those ways is to become a club sponsor, right? For after school
Yes.
clubs and extra curriculars, whether it's a sport or a club or all the things, right? And so, listen, what we're about to crack open, we could literally just spend the rest of the episode talking about because it is
Yeah.
a club that is so profound. It is a club that both you and I share in common in terms of co-sponsoring.
Mm-hmm.
And it has really made such a difference in the lives of not only our students, but we ourselves as adults, right? So let's just crack this open, man. Like, Snowball, tell us about your role in Snowball. First of all, tell the audience what Snowball is,
Mm-hmm.
and then your role. I literally passed the baton to you, right?
Yes,
And
you did. Yes.
Elton, Buns, and I.
Yeah.
And it is literally like so special to our kids. And it's literally like, I feel arguably, and I'll admit my bias, a main vein, right? To our like flair, our flavor, our
Mhm.
vibe at Morton. Like, it just means a lot to us. So tell us about Snowball. Tell us why you let me pass the baton to you, and we'll take it from there.
All right. So for those of you that are unfamiliar with Snowball, Snowball is, well, especially Snowball at Morton, it's part of a larger organization called Operation Snowball. And the whole purpose of it is to promote social emotional skills in the participants, a lot of healthy, safe relationships, positive relationships, and overall just maintaining a healthy lifestyle through that. So at Morton, Snowball basically is almost like known like the club that has all the games and we don't talk about anything academic, but it's so much more than that. Like, it's so much more. I agree with Tony. Snowball is the heart of the Morton community just because it fosters that strong community within all of its participants. It's not an individualist, like, kind of like, oh, I need this many volunteer hours or anything. It's literally just come and have a great time, but it's so much more than that. So I started in Snowball when I was in high school. I went as a participant on the weekend retreat that Snowball offers. And then I applied to be a team leader the next year, and then I did it. So then I thought that was it. I was like, you know what? Like, I'm done with this. Maybe wherever I go next, like a new school district or anything, I'll start it up there. But then I got hired at Morton, and I was like, oh my God, okay, fingers crossed that I get asked to be like an adult chaperone. And I was. So my first year I was asked to be a chaperone. And then that was the year that we shut down early for COVID, that we went to like remote learning. And I remember you and Lens had always like said that like your time was coming up for that year and then Lens was about to have another baby, so he was ready to kind of move on. And he would always tell us, because he was our club sponsor when I was in high school, he literally said like, come back and take our jobs, right? Like, come back and be the leaders that we need you to be. So when I got back to Morton by the end of like the school year, that first one, he asked me if I wanted to be the sponsor, and I was just like, oh my God, like, this is everything. So not only I was a participant, I was the teen staff and then adult chaperone, and then now I'm the club sponsor. So there's not a ton we can talk about, but trust and believe that like you can see the effect of Snowball here in the chat. And I didn't even mention the name. So Snowball comes from like that name, right? The snowball effect. Like, if you do one good thing for one person, the whole purpose is that person will also do something else for another person, and it just snowballs. So we're all about fostering that strong community through those relationships, and it's just such a positive club. Everybody that knows Snowball knows how great the kids are because they just genuinely buy into it, and you can see the results firsthand too.
I love it. I love it. Absolutely. And we have Janet Montalvo coming through, one of our colleagues and a former guest and my former student, talking
Janet.
about, yes, I love our Snowball kids. Listen, you know, again, it's just kind of like attaching on to the whole Snowball culture. It really, I saw firsthand as a co-sponsor for several years, the impact. And not only is it the creation of a safe space for our students, but the leadership that is built with what we call the teen staff that helps to run the retreats, and they have their own retreat for leadership building and professional development and all of those, you know, moments that they have that are once in a lifetime for them. And just to see, like you say, just the ripple effect of love and of kindness and of compassion and of vulnerability, of trust, of love. Man, like, what student body does not need love? What student population, you know, doesn't need like a fusion of compassion and grace and all of those, you know, good feelings. I have evidence, you know, I've got some pictures. So
which one are you putting up?
let's see. I mean, this is when I believe you were in Snowball as a student.
Oh yeah, it's so exciting. Oh, I see myself. I see myself.
So you're on the side there, you're
Yes.
laying down and, you know, playing games, right? A lot of the club action and vibe was these cool games and interactives and song singing and chanting and the energy. Man, we would get in trouble all the time after school. Like, y'all got to keep it down. Like, right? Everybody would be coming out like, look, oh, it's Snowball. It's like, well, where do you want
Yep.
us to go? The roof? There's nowhere to go. Let them laugh. Let them. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yes. For those of you in the chat, remember Charlie? Yeah, I do too. We would always get in trouble with security guards. We have to close those doors. Oh my God. Every single teacher would have to close their doors in the hallway. We always have to apologize. I'm so sorry, but the Snowball kids are going to be here. They're like, oh no, I get it. But they're so understanding though. They're like, no, I understand. They're like, they need their space. This is where they need to be. And it's just the best. It's the best.
It was everything, man. We got Miss Ritz popping through, our colleague, our good friend, another former guest on the Ask an Educator podcast, talking about Brenda was in my small group as a participant when I was a teen staff. Snowball couldn't be in better hands. Clearly, it fosters a support group we need as Latine leaders. Absolutely. Yeah. We can't agree more. This is what's going on. Hello. And Tony's talking about it is still true. It still rings true. Okay. And then we've got an apology here for you.
Hi, Gio. How we doing? How we doing? Oh, G, we cannot move forward if I don't ask a very specific question.
Okay, tell me.
I would be in trouble if I didn't ask this question. Okay. And you're gonna see the comments flood, everybody.
Oh boy.
Snowball, how do we feel? Just with those little words, you know, like it automatically like mood shift. I promise you. You hear me on the hallway, second floor. You come good. Oh, we feel so good.
Let's go. People in the airwaves that aren't from our community are like, "What's wrong with these two ladies?" Listen, this is how we do it in the Chicago.
If you know, you know. If you know, you know.
This is how us Morton people do it. Snowball got me through high school. Little Red Wagon chant was always the best. Let's go. We got Miss Ritz. Clap, 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 clap. Oh my gosh. Crazyville is blowing up in the chat here. You ain't lying.
JSM. Oh, she did it phonetically.
She said JSM.
Phonics with Ritz.
That is awesome. Okay. That's J. Sterling Morton. Just another part of our big old name as a district. I do have you as staff here
with more Snowball kids.
So for those of you who are watching, you could see I'm putting up pictures, but if you're driving or what have you, please watch this later. Don't get in an accident, but just wanting to show the evolution of Miss Lopez from a student then to a teen staff. But speaking of student, I mean, come on. How cute were you?
Girl, she had a chipmunk face. She had bloated cheeks and bangs. Girl.
Okay, tell me about this picture. Please tell me.
Okay, this is another Snowball picture.
Okay, for those who cannot view. Okay.
This was 2013, I believe. So this is from one of the Snowball sponsored blood drives. So one of the things that Snowball does is fundraising, but also a way to give back to the community is we host blood drives that run through Vitalent. So they come 2 to 3 times a year and ask students to donate blood. And then Snowball, the teen staff, we volunteer and we are the ones that are helping organize, check in, so on. And that's me on the left right there. With those bangs and real thin eyebrows. Girl, that was a mistake. And then right next to me, that's Nareda Rodriguez. She's actually, get this. She's a counselor now at Morton East. Yep. This is her first year there. And then Isela is all the way to the right. Isela, if you're watching, hope you're doing well. But yeah, we would all be there for Snowball and have just a great time. Yes, that's Neri. Yes.
So we've got more love in the chat, just asking for clarifications. And then coming back, what Osby talking about, as soon as I saw the Captain America shield in Miss Lopez's room, I knew she was the GOAT.
That's your identifier. Yep.
Greatest of all time. But
you know what they Oh, go ahead. No, you know what they nickname me in Snowball?
Tell me.
They call me Thanos because I collect all of them, you know. Participant, teen staff. I was like, oh, what's next?
I love that. Okay. So, I mean, listen, you're creating a safe space for our students who face so many, not only systemic barriers and challenges, but also just being a teenager in general, right? Um, they are really faced with some, crazy challenges that they have to circumnavigate. So I just wanted to elevate your work in this space with Mr. Elkins and say, we see you. Thank you for hanging on year after year as a co-sponsor to this club. It truly is making a difference, and it is part of the work to let them know that they are worthy, that they are enough, that they are powerful beyond measure, and that they are capable of being an incredible human as they already are, and that they are tomorrow's change agents and leaders. And so I love it. We're here for it. But tell me about.
I don't know if you saw my boyfriend crawling in the background.
Oh, I was going to ask if it was like a cat, because it sounded like it was.
I would try, for y'all watching, I'll try my best to hide him, but I saw him. No, but yes, I have a flag in my room. For those of you that have been in my room, it says like, the future of this world is in our classroom. And I really stand by that statement, especially teaching civics, right? Like we literally have firsthand agency and power to make actual change. It doesn't have to be literally being the president or anything like that. It could just be through something, working with another person or helping out a neighbor or just anything community based. So yes.
I love that. And my next question to follow that up is, what impact have you seen as a Latina and an alum with our student population? What impact, firsthand impact, have you seen it made? And when do you let them know that you're alum? Is it first week, first day? Tell us how you drop the news.
So I say it like immediately. Like I have no shame in saying that. And I even, just like Joy does, I have my diploma from high school by my desk too. So I show it to them. I also like just to kind of see what they think, like when I graduated and everything. But yeah, I say it right off the bat. I'm like, listen, I was you just a couple of years ago. Yes, our experiences are completely different, but it's not like I don't know this neighborhood. It's not like I don't know the community or some of the overall shared struggles that we all go through. I guess in a way, something that has like leapt out since I started teaching is really just the relationships that I have just being a Latina teacher, specifically to Latino students. Something that I mentioned last week too in Joy's podcast too is that hopefully students also automatically kind of see us as home, as an extension of home, an extension of the community, almost like a big sister, almost like another mom, another family member, another relative, right? Like, and it's not even explicit, right? Like we just automatically get each other. And that's not something that you teach, right? Like that's just something that already comes and it's ingrained and it's something that you do because you take care of everybody around you, right? We're supposed to lift everybody up in the room. So that's something I automatically do. And then in my classroom, something important to me is making everybody feel safe and making sure everybody is comfortable. But because of our shared background, right, we want to make sure that everybody has the opportunity to feel seen and feel heard in our classroom. So hopefully that's something I've done for my students. You can agree or tell me something else that I've done that spoke to you in the chat. But yeah, I really definitely see the value of me coming back to school and teaching at Morton. I didn't see it in my first couple of years, but now over time, you definitely get to see and the relationships that you fostered and see how far they've come.
Something so extreme for us, right? You're from the community. A 2-for-1. That just creates city. Joy and I were talking about a lot of students oftentimes has been a place of trauma for them. And the fact that this doctor and this is there, this Montalvo, and keep going, so many, a lot that really creates such a role model and a poster, a possibility of, and not create a better teaching pipeline as a result, because we know that we have a broken and leaky pipeline with the diverse workforce. So if we create safe spaces, and where we come from, maybe we can inspire some of us to turn back around and become teachers so that they could represent demonstration. Research, very, we've got a little bit of here on the coming. You could go ahead and Brenda Lopez.
I don't know what you said because you froze that entire time, and I checked the chat to make sure, and it wasn't just me. Girl, she.
Oh, I like a speech. That was it.
It's giving robot.
Like I should become president. After, okay, am I good? Can you see me?
Okay, try again.
Okay.
I can hear you, but I can't see you.
Okay, so he said. Oh gosh. Okay.
Okay, I think we're back.
Okay, are we good? Are we back?
Yes, now we're back. Everybody in the chat, can we? Yes.
Okay, thumbs up. Let's see if we're just talking about the city, how when we inspire from and who we are, and we can actually inspire them learning. It's just all. Brenda, can you hear me? Yes, no, baby, so?
No, queen.
Oh, I'm freezing. Okay.
Oh, it's still freezing. Yeah, G, it's freezing. Okay, everybody in the chat, while Ms. G figures it out. Okay, how many cookies can you eat on an empty stomach while she figures it out? Everybody answer the question. If you win, I'll give you a gift card. $5. How many cookies can you eat on an empty stomach? This is the one that I always ask my kids, and nobody ever gets it. It's just a cookie, girl. It's just a cookie. No, there's a number. There's a number. No, G. No.
Oh.
No, there's a number, everybody. No. Okay. Tony and Vanessa. Okay. Since it's 1, why is it 1? Whoever answers the quickest gets my gift card. This literally feels like remote learning. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to our channel. Oh, she is the main attraction. Hello, everyone. Yeah, there you go. Good job, Vanessa. Everybody claps for Vanessa. Yay. She won. Vanessa, you get a free $5 Starbucks gift card on me. Yes, exactly, because now it's not empty. Okay, another question. Yes, I'll buy you a matcha. I don't know any more riddles. Oh, Yeah, I don't know. Hello. For those of you that are just tuning in, Miss G left because her internet is bugging. Oh, she's back.
Okay.
Yay! Everybody claps in the chat. Everybody claps in the chat. Yeah, we did it. We did it. We did it. We did it. We did it.
Boom, boom, boom. And my internet had all
No.
my numbers and it was fine. And then all of a sudden I got booted out. So now I'm on my hotspot. Does that sound better?
There you go. Yes, this is good. This is good.
Oh my gosh.
Yes. Yeah, and everybody's clapping. We got it. We got it.
Well, I want to know the answer to that question then about your cookies.
Okay. Vanessa got it right. Once you eat one cookie, the question was how many cookies can you eat on an empty stomach? It's one, because once you eat one, you're not on an empty stomach. But
you held it down with the jokey jokes. Oh my gosh, but we are back. Listen, when I was talking like a robot, all I was trying to say was the research be clear that if we encourage our students by representing so many layers of justice and of cultura and of comunidad, that can inspire our kids to turn back around and say, hey, I want to be a teacher just like Miss Lopez, just like Miss Montalvo, just like so-and-so. And guess what? That is an answer to the leaky and broken pipeline when we're talking about diversifying that teacher workforce. So that's what I said. And you know what? We're going to just fight through the internet waves and we're going to get this going.
We're good. We're here.
All right. Y'all see,
we're here. It's all right.
Each other's back. Y'all have my back. Y'all just like, look, we're gonna wait on Miss G. I know there's a situation, but we got this. It's all good. But let me ask you this question, moving this along. As I stated, you're not the only alum that came back. And so why do you think there's a high number of Morton grads returning to make a difference in their communities?
I think there's so many of us, and that number keeps growing. Like, it keeps growing. I just ran into somebody that I graduated high school with. And they're a teacher now at East again too. Their name is Sebastian. Wow. And I was like, dude, I didn't even know you were gonna be a teacher. And he's like, yeah, I'm here. I'm gonna be the new business teacher. And I was like, oh my God, like we keep growing every day. I think it really is a testament to the community that we have here, and just like how important, like I'm telling you, like it's a collectivist like mindset that we have here. It's we all look out for each other. We all make really genuine connections.
True.
We all work well with each other. It's just a really positive environment that we have, and that's something that's really unique to Morton. We understand that the mission is all about kids and about centering them and doing what's best for them. And who better to do that than us? You know, like really, I mean, and that's not to say that any other teacher that's not from the community can't come in, but they're like, I'm telling you, like there's something unique about a teacher that comes from the community that they were raised in, that they went to high school in. They know how the school operates. They know how the community works. They know what the community values and what the community means. So it's just an easy transition. And it makes sense, right? Because when I was looking for a job, I was like, well, why am I going to go teach? And no offense, like, why am I going to go teach in Naperville, Downers Grove? Like, like, I'm not going to serve my purpose there. Like, I'm supposed to be teaching in a community that I know would appreciate having me and need someone like me.
I love that. And, you know, based on the research, about 80% of our teacher population is white female across nationwide. And, you know, again, it really does speak to, man, just the power of community and the way that it really establishes such a tight-knit family. And we can all testify. Some of you as former students and just even as staff now, we could have so many stories that would testify that points to us being there for one another, whether we were going through a personal crisis, whether, you know, we had a crisis in our school where we lost a student, and how we showed up for each other. You know, our students watch that and they see how much we care about each other as staff members, and how much more do we show that same kind of love. But it's true, there's some about it, right? Like Let's see. We've got more comments in the chat. I met an English teacher today. Also a Morton alum, Miss Davila from last week. New English teacher, so magical that so many alumni keep coming back. And again, y'all don't know what you're doing. Y'all doing something magical. And I'm telling you, it is really going to make a difference to some of the challenges that we're facing regarding the state of education. Not only is it diversifying, but it's representation. Not only is it representation, but it is creating a possible future pipeline for more alum to come back and do some incredible work. I'm just so excited. And that's why I wanted to highlight it, right? Because it is magical. It is special. There's something to be said, right? About returning to the same hallways that you walked. We got Miss Montalvo talking about one of my childhood neighbors is going to be a sub even. Like what? Like it's crazy. Oh, we have more alum coming through.
That's Neri. She was in the picture. She's going to be a school counselor.
I'm so happy to be back. She said not only as an alum, but as a school counselor. And look at what she's going to be to our students. Exactly. Counselors serve a very important role as well. They serve such a role where they guide our students, not only with their schedules, but also in life and just helping with those life choices. Man, we are so happy to have you. Welcome to the Morton family, Miss Rodriguez. It just keeps getting better and better and better, man. Like, so let's keep talking here. Now that you have returned back to your old stomping grounds, now that you know, man, not only do I need to return to Morton, but I need to build deep roots for our students through the Snowball Club and through creating a safe space for your students. But what's your vision for the future professionally? What does that look like for Miss Lopez?
Ooh, like what's next for me?
Yeah,
right?
like
Okay. Well, I definitely want to keep working within the AP program at Morton. I definitely want to do that and foster that. But for me, I guess I'm looking into grad school again. So yes, I already have that master's, but I'm looking into maybe, G, can I tell you a secret? Maybe I'm thinking about PhD programs next year. Yes. You know, and like a very small percentage of Latina like women have a PhD, right? But it's like there's no end game for us. And especially like being a teacher and having that, like having a kid look up to you in that way and seeing like, yeah, it is possible she went to Morton and sky's the limit. I want to do pretty much everything and anything. But yeah, PhD programs maybe for next year. But also I kind of want to keep teaching at Morton for a bit, and then hopefully some point down the line I want to teach other teachers how to be teachers too. Like, I definitely want to do like an undergrad program like that.
I love that. You've got love in the chat. Dr. Lopez sounds nice. Okay, Dr. Lopez. Yes. And just so you know, women, Latina PhD holders, we're in the single digits. So, and dare I say, under 5%. And I remember that because I was in a PhD program myself, and I call myself a PhD dropout because I couldn't afford it. I was after a full ride scholarship, and you had to enter the program. And so I did for my EDD in EDU justice and advocacy work. But I didn't get the scholarship. And so I had to drop out. and my advisor was like, why are you leaving? Oh my gosh, based on your paperwork and your entrance essay, like you need to be here. And I'm like, you know what? Like, the intersectionality of who I am got to me again as a woman of color at that intersection. I can't break free at the moment unless you want to give me a full ride. They're like, all right, we'll see you later, Ms. G. Right.
Literally. And that's a struggle that a lot of people, like, even not just for PhD programs or like graduate programs, but like for undergraduate programs too, like especially with the cost of education rising, like one of the reasons why there aren't so many teachers of color. And it's like, well, sometimes you can't afford it, or sometimes you're first gen and you don't know how to apply to college or even how to retain yourself at college. Sometimes you have to go back to community college, and who's to say that they're going to hire you or they're going to pay you enough when you actually get your job? There's so many other factors that we unfortunately have to experience firsthand because of who we are, and we can't change that. But we just have to pave our own way somehow, some way, somehow, to make sure that we get into those spaces, like you said, making sure that we're at the table, and if not, making a seat at that table.
Making a seat at that table. And so I wish you positive vibes. I wish you opportunity. I wish you financial flow so that you can go ahead and, like you say, get that seat at the table, because that does elevate us into spaces and places. But hey, if we ain't got a seat at a table, we bring a folding chair, or we say to ourselves, we are the table, right? I once read an article in Ed Week where teachers were like, listen, we not only need a seat at the table, but let it be known in the EDU policy space, we are the table. I love that.
That's right. That's right.
That is so dope. Oh, I got love from my sister-in-law talking about one day Miss will be a doctora soon. Hey, if it's
I believe that too.
If it's in the cards, I got enough on my plate. But I do and will testify. Thank you, my love. I will testify that to teach teachers is dope, because I did that at the post-secondary level in a teacher preparation program. So I support that. Do it. I can help you with that. If you want to, in the future, I can give you some tips and tricks as to get into that higher ed space. As a master's degree holder. And it was really dope. I will say that it was super dope to teach teachers and to really share those best practices that go beyond the science of teaching, right? And to really get to the heart of teaching, to really create that family, that community, man, that anti-racist space. Those are some of the tools that are not taught as often as it should be. And I could see you coming through there, getting all inspirational. As Osby said, look at Miss Lopez, so inspirational. All this love in the chat, manifesting. Dr. Lopez in the near future. Look at you, got everybody
putting it out there.
Listen, you got this. If that's what you want, go for it. Again, we miss 100% of the shots that we do not take. So I want to ask you this last question, and then we'll go into my famous rapid fire and fill in the blanks. And then I have just some parting words for a second with Sofia Speaks. But ending with this, as we're talking about it throughout the podcast, why is representation still so important? Not just in the classroom, but on boards, power seats at the table, school administration, PhD levels. Talk to us. Why is it still so important?
Well, even though, like, speaking to an earlier point that we made about like just how magical it is for alumni to come back into the building, like it doesn't feel like it's important on most days, right? It doesn't necessarily sink in sometimes. I'm like, wow, I'm making like a big difference, or I'm still needed, or I should be here. It's still ridiculously important to have representation, especially in education, because that's what our students need. The majority of the students in this country are students of color, and specifically low income, and this is the community that we come from. So there's just no way that, well, that's not that there's no way, but the best people to come back and to be teachers are us. We literally are the ones that should be there, because that's what our students deserve. They deserve people who understand them. They deserve people who care about them and have that compassion for them. So the representation that we can provide for them is a positive one, where they can model themselves to be and to also give back to their community, or because it's only going to flourish if we are nurturing it ourselves and not allowing somebody in to come and kind of like ruin our spot, or kind of like turn it into something that we don't believe in, right? Like we should build our community spaces for us, by us. So I truly believe that for us and by us, like we should be the ones that are at the front of the classrooms. And why not be the superintendents, be the administrators, be the secretaries, security, like all of these people like are so important, just so that we can see ourselves and feel at home, but also provide that opportunity for students to see themselves in, that they're not coming into unfamiliar spaces or seeing unfamiliar faces, but they're seeing themselves as well.
Oh my gosh. Okay. So I had to just quote you on that. Creating our communities for us, by us. That's a line. That's a tweet. That's what's up. That's a word. Yes. Come through here, Miss Lopez, with that word from God. Come on
Thanks.
now. That's what's up. And again, it speaks to our resilience. It speaks to our own agency. It speaks to the power that is within us, that we have the power to create our communities for us and by us and through us, shall I say, and dare I say. And this is the kind of agency that I argue alum teachers have such an advantage of, fostering and exemplifying and modeling. And that's why I really wanted to isolate 2 episodes worth of dope alum coming back to the neighborhood public school by which they graduated, talking about, I'm here putting some roots. I was you, I am you, I'm for you, I'm not over you, I walk alongside you. Come on now, right?
Yep. I always tell the kids, right? Like, I'm not better than you and you're not better than me. We're doing this together. We have to create these spaces together. We're learning together. We're going to be better together. So as long as we keep fostering that community because we're in those spaces, I think we can go a long way into seeing the future that we want it to be.
I love that. I love that. That just got me like all fired up. So I just need to like come down and just relax. It got me all fired up because I just love what you all are doing. I just love it. And I think that it is very special. I think that it can be like a framework that hopefully schools can foster, right? As just one best practice to grow your own and to really foster this idea of alum coming back not only to represent the cultura for many, if not most of our alum, but to be that role model and that mirror for our students to see the possibilities. If they can't see it, they can't be it oftentimes. 100%. And so we need to show them. Yep. And that's what you all are doing. I love it. So now we are on to our fill in the blanks. Yes, we've made it. Thank you all for hanging in. We had some debacles of like me freezing. Then I thought I put my phone on silence and it was like 70 million calls. I thought I put my watch on silent. It was beeping too. I'm like, listen, what's happening? But you know what? Welcome to the world of teaching. This is like one class, okay? This is
we pivot,
right? Tell me that in one class period, we are very capable of having 17 debacles, from kids coming in the classroom talking about my teacher needs Kleenex. Do you have some? Then here, this person has to go to the dean's office, and then our video gets all jacked up. I mean, I can keep going, right?
We make it work. And then Vanessa got a gift card out of it too. She won, so she's not mad. We all win.
Oh, dang. Yeah, we're giving out gift cards.
That was the prize. I was like, you know what? I'll give you a $5 gift card if you get the riddle right. So you see, we're our winners. Everybody learned. Everybody's having a great time. Everybody in the chat, let us know how great of a time are you having.
Man, I do apologize. Listen, I'm still jet lagged from doing all my travels and doing all the things. I love y'all. Thank you for grace all in the airwaves today. Fill in the blank for me, Ms. Lopez. A goal that I have for my new school year is, I'm popping this on you. This is a new one because summer has already ended. That was my first fill in the blank.
Yes, it was. So now I'm like, I'm hoping this new school year, and a goal I have is to create it to be, I can't say a calm year because that's not going to happen. But I'm manifesting a calmer year than last year for sure.
Okay. So more calm, more peace.
Something I can manage. I can manage instead of multiple things all at once going on. Me trying to figure it out. Yeah.
I got you. I feel you. And then even just doing that mirror work and knowing your own limitations as an educator. This is year 5 for you. Yes.
Yes. Year 5.
This is a critical year. Studies show and prove that after year 5, most teachers leave the profession. So hang in there. Do not leave us. What teachers need, speaking of, what teachers need right now is?
Respect.
Come on. Tell us.
Respect. We need to be, like we were mentioning earlier, we need to be at those tables. We need to be the ones that are influencing policy, that are making school rules, that are making those like regulations, all of this stuff. And we also need to be treated as the professionals that we are, right? We went to university. We shouldn't be talked down to. We should be trusted to have our own spaces, our own classrooms, to make sure that we're making the best decisions for the kids, because we are. So we should be treated with the bare minimum, with it, which is respect.
And I was telling a few when I got back from India that the level of respect for teachers out there is off the rafters, similar to Mexico. Like if we were to go to Mexico, our culture very much respects the teacher, right?
Oh, automatically, especially when you call home, and that's something unique to Latina spaces too. Like if you call home and it's like, oh my God, tell me what he did, tell me what they did, I'm so sorry. Like it's an automatic, it's like you're speaking to like almost like a deity. You're like above and beyond. You're an incredibly respected person in different countries, but it somehow doesn't translate to here, which is unfortunate, but hopefully that changes soon.
Yeah, absolutely. So as a nation, we could increase the level of respect for our nation's teachers. Absolutely. I want my students to leave my classroom every year feeling
Inspired.
I love, like, inspired.
Inspired. Yes, inspired to create change in whatever ways that they see, right? Even if it's just a little snowball effect, doing something nice for somebody else, or 2 people, 3 people, whether it is through direct action, getting involved with their communities, anything like that. Oh my God! Hi, Rafael was a kid that I had over remote learning. I've never seen your face, but hi.
Rafael, one of her former students that she served virtually during the pandemic, just popped in the chat for those who are just listening and not viewing. And he stated, our teachers definitely deserve more respect. Thank you, Rafael, for that affirmation. And I definitely can see you inspiring your students this year, Ms. Lopez. Fill in this last blank for me. Alum, if they do get a chance and have the desire, should go back to teach at their home district because
you can make a much larger difference than you really think you're going to make. It goes without saying. Like even kids you don't even know their names, or like you don't keep in touch with afterwards, like they're going to remember you for what you did for them, because they know that you had their best interests at heart.
Gosh, I love that. And it is so true. Again, right? This idea of, really being those mirrors and windows. I mean, we can't say it enough, of how powerful that is for them to see and for them to really imagine themselves in those shoes one day. And it starts with you, and it starts with you being that representation. Man, Miss Lopez, I am so happy that you came. I am so happy that you hung tight. I'm so happy that you held down the fort. Look at what teachers do. Teachers are like, look, we got technical difficulties, and we do that in real life too. Like I've had, and I know Miss Ritz is still in the chat, our colleague, and she was my neighbor. She would come all the time, like, what you need? What? Tell me. Okay, I got you. I'm gonna send a kid right now. Do you need someone from Texas? Wait, who? Okay, right now. Like seriously, like we just be there for each other. I be asking Miss Montalvo, listen, I need you to take a picture of my students. It's our last day. I'm coming. Like
literally. Or can you watch my classroom when I go to the bathroom? Joy, I always got your back.
Yes. Can you watch my classroom? I see. But listen, it has been so amazing. Thank you so much for coming on your first day back of the new school year. Tell the gang I said hi. I'm going to miss you guys, but I will come back to visit, and I will continue to share my journey. I'm representing our community in the capital, and please do wish me positive vibes as well.
Yes, wishing you all the best this school year, sending you all of the power, all of the love, all of the strength to make it through and to advocate for us.
Man, I'm going to need it, because I know that there is going to be a lot to sift through from a national perspective, and in any new space, right? You face that, initial set of nerves and jitters. But I am confident. Pausing again. I am confident.
I didn't want to say it. I was like, I didn't see it.
That's all right. That's my outro. It bumped out when I bumped out, but it's good. I popped it back in. Ain't nobody see nothing.
What are we talking about?
What are we talking about?
No clue. No clue at all.
All we know is that you're going to DC. If they were here to support you,
Yes.
you're starting year 5.
Everybody wish Mystique good luck in the chat.
Yes,
wish her the
do.
best.
I see. I need all the
Yay.
love. We got best of luck, G, from Miss Montalvo. Vane, thank you, my love. We have Janet, my former student, my sweetheart, and my former lunch buddy, and everything to me. We will miss you this upcoming year. Thank you. Again, you all have been such a support to me, and by jumping on these podcasts with me is another level of support. So, Miss Lopez, we see you. We acknowledge your work. You are a rock star. You are so special to our school community. Our students have flooded the chat, and I just wanted to lift up your work and what you're doing. And I wish you an incredible year 5. Go do it. Go do the thing. Be at peace. Pace yourself. Know when to accelerate. Take care of yourself. Hydrate. Rest. And we love you.
Oh, love y'all. Thank you so much for having me, y'all. It was so great to be on. We did it. We did the thing, G.
We did it. No matter all the difficulties, look, we pressed through, and that's more in pride, and that's on period. Ask somebody, okay? Thank you. You're welcome. You are so welcome for all of this goodness. You're welcome, airwaves of the United States of the Americas. I promise I'm sober. I promise.
She's just a Leo. She's just a Leo. Okay, she's just a diva.
Totally. We've got Elkins.
Hey, Dalton.
Who is our colleague and a club sponsor for Snowball as well with Miss Lopez. Listen, you're gonna do the thing, and promise me this is on airwaves that we'll have dinner and that we'll stay in touch and that we'll continue to do the good work.
Yes, together. Of course. That I promise, friend.
Bye, Miss Lopez. Te quiero
un
montón.
Everybody.
Amor y paz.
Much love. Amor y paz. Bye.
Listen, that was kind of a chaotic episode, but you know what? Let me just say this, and I could have ended the broadcast, but I didn't. Let me just say this. That is a demonstration of teaching, okay? Where you could have so many things going on. And what do good teachers do? Tell me what a good teacher does. Keeps going, keeps pressing on, helps the colleague next to them, and does what they have been called to do. And that is what? That is teach. So speaking of teaching, I wanted to end with just a little bit of Sofia Speaks. I call it a second with Sofia Speaks. So here's what I have. Man, mirrors and windows. What can we say? Research proves that representation matters deeply to our nation's kids, that it benefits all students, and to add the alum icing on the cake, well, that's a damn good slice then. I give continued props to those who return to their home communities, the halls they once walked, and the rooms where cerebral struggle and academic fatigue took place. Man, how teachers turn back around and say from the space that once poured into me, though not a perfect pour, a pour nonetheless. And so thus I shall return, mad street cred, a mirror, a testament, a reflection of what students could be because they have seen you, the alum, as an option still so scarce in many spaces. Yet the needle isn't hard to move for nothing. Though arduous, we continue in the progress of equity in EDU, one class, one teacher, one kid, one family at a time. So thank you all for hanging in to probably my most tumultuous episode, but so enriching and fun and full of life nonetheless. To all my EDU justice warriors and soldiers in the fights, listen, I see you, I feel you, and I am with you. Until next time, keep shining and getting into good trouble. You guessed it, necessary trouble. Goodbye for now.